What's up, people? Welcome back. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I am doing pretty decent. I'm feeling good. Spring is here. To dive right in, today's topic is something that I've been considering doing for a while. I've been holding back on it because I didn't think that I was, qualified to really talk about it, or I didn't know if I really felt comfortable talking about the business side of freelancing and, filmmaking. After doing this for about 4 years, I believe I have some bit of knowledge to spread to you guys. And, as a disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a business advisor. I'm not any of those things. This isn't advice. This is just me talking to you guys about my experiences and what has worked for me and what hasn't worked for me. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, do your own due diligence, and find what works best for you. But today, I'm going to be talking about the business side of freelancing. Specifically, should you start an LLC as a freelancer? This is a question that I get all the time, especially from people that are new to freelancing, part-time freelancing, and honestly, sometimes people that have been freelancing for a year or two already that haven't, made the jump to start a business. So I'm going to try to answer some of those questions today in a very vague / broad sense, because you can go on YouTube and really get in depth on the benefits of an LLC and if it really works for you. I just want to kind of spark some interest in your brain to see if this is something that you would really want to consider for yourself and your craft, business, art, something. There is a ton to cover in this topic, so I plan on splitting this into a few different videos. One today on LLC, some more on finance, some on banking, some on taxes. And again, I'm not an expert in any one of these things, but I have done my fair share of all of the above. So I think I have some knowledge in things that I could potentially help you all with. So let's start today's video. So the number one question I get from people when I talk about business, especially freelancers and people that are starting in this industry, is, hey, do you think I should start an LLC? And my answer, majority of the time, is yes. And of course, this answer varies depending on the person, their circumstance, and what their goals are. For me, my general goal and my mindset is, instead of thinking myself as a freelancer as an individual, I like to consider myself as a business that serves other businesses and individuals. Now, this might be kind of just like a little hearsay type thing, but for me, the mentality is a huge part in growing your business and scaling to a point where you want to be. And thinking myself as an individual, for me, is very limiting. So thinking of myself as a business allows me to think more exponentially. It allows me to think like, hey, I'm a business, so what do I need to do business-wise? What do I need to do marketing-wise, X, Y, and Z, to actually grow my business and serve other businesses and individuals? Now, like I said, that is a hearsay thing. It's just a mentality thing that I like to kind of tell myself. And that is what sparked my interest in getting an LLC 4 years ago, was the fact that I wanted to be structured as a business, not just an individual. So right off the bat, let's talk about some of the benefits of starting an LLC. I'm not going to be talking about the details of each of the items in this list. I'm just going to be listing them out for you to kind of just start thinking and get your brain working in what some of the benefits are. If you find that this could be something that you are interested in, I highly recommend going into YouTube or Google and really taking a deep dive into business education and looking up some people that are really knowledgeable in this area. So some of the benefits of an LLC include write-offs and expenses, separation of liability between you, the individual, and your business, applying for business loans, credit cards, opening up business bank accounts. It's an easy startup and easy maintenance. And to get a little technical, an LLC is a pass-through entity, which means that profits go directly to the members without being taxed on a company level. You only get taxed on members' profits. So we're gonna be talking about taxes specifically in another video, but those are some of the benefits of an LLC that I truly believe are very powerful. Now, one of the biggest negatives to an LLC that some people might consider a really big negative, but for me, I think the positives outweigh this one negative. And that one negative is self-employment tax. So now you might be asking, what is self-employment tax? Here's the definition. Members are personally responsible for paying Social Security and Medicare taxes, which are collectively known as self-employment tax, based on the business's total net earnings. Those are just broad ideas of what the benefits and negatives are to an LLC. Again, like I said, dig deeper into these topics. I'm not going to be talking too much about them because, one, I'm not a business advisor, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to kind of get your brain thinking and seeing if this is something that you actually want to consider. Why did I start an LLC? One, because again, I wanted to consider myself a business, not an individual. 2, having an LLC for me added a sense of legitimacy when invoicing clients, when creating proposals, when meeting with clients. Instead of just having my name, Carlos Stigliano, I actually had an LLC name, I had a business entity, and that for me added a sense of legitimacy and professionalism that otherwise wouldn't have. So when starting an LLC, is it free? No. You have to pay some initial fees to start your LLC. You also have to pay some yearly maintenance fees and continuation fees. Again, they're not insanely expensive, but dependent on your situation, they might be expensive. So look in your given area, your state, or whatever place you live in, see the costs of a startup of an LLC, what the costs for the maintenance and continuation fees are, and see if it actually works for you based on how much income you make per year and what your projected goals are for the next couple years. So once you have an LLC, what does that mean? You are officially a business owner. And when you're a business owner, that comes with responsibility. And no, I don't mean paying for salaries to put food on the table for your employees. That could come later if that's something you want to do in terms of scale. But what I mean is you now need to be extremely organized in your paperwork, in your documentation, in making sure that you're paying things on time, paying the right amount, making sure that you are talking to the right people to make sure that you're doing the right things legally and you're doing things as efficiently. And honestly, how can you do things better, especially when it comes to taxes? And that's when it comes down to having a great CPA. And that's another topic that we're going to be talking about, but to glance over it really quick. Some people might say, I don't make enough money to hire a CPA. I don't do this, I shouldn't have a CPA. My honest advice is to find a CPA early, build a relationship with them, talk to them about your financial goals and your business goals for the next couple years to come. So when you are in that place 4 years from now where you set yourself to be, you're not now finding a CPA where you're struggling to figure out how to do taxes properly, or you might have gotten screwed over the past couple years in taxes because you didn't know how to do it. The key for me is to start early when you're not making a lot of income so you can make those mistakes and it's not extremely detrimental. Whereas if you're making $100,000 and you mess up on your taxes or your finances, that could be way more detrimental to your life than if you were to make $10,000 or $20,000 and make those mistakes then. So my advice, find a CPA early, build a relationship, and start asking questions on how to do things properly. Now, I understand that I'm moving fast and I'm kind of speaking in a very direct way. And for some people, this might be very intimidating. And to be honest, starting a business is intimidating. Keeping your taxes organized, keeping your documentation organized is intimidating. Making sure you're doing everything right is intimidating and scary. And for me, being in business for about 4 years now, I am no expert in any field of what I'm doing besides my career, my craft. I feel I'm an expert in that, but otherwise I am still learning. And I feel that my biggest strength is the fact that I know that I am not an expert. So I always seek help and I always ask questions. And that's one of my biggest advices to you guys is know that you're not an expert in any of these fields. So seek advice, seek answers, and make sure that you're talking to the right people for all of these questions. In the beginning of starting an LLC, you're not going to know how to do everything. You're not going to know what documents need to be filled, when they're going to need to be filled, how much money it's going to take to run your business, how much money it's going to cost to maintain your business per year. So after being in business for about 4 years, I now have a great understanding of how much money I need to make per year to sustain my business. And that includes keeping up with my LLC, paying my accountant fees, paying all of the documentation fees, and everything that goes along with maintaining your LLC. But that comes with time, that comes with trial, that comes with error. And again, I'm going to be talking about this when it comes to taxes, but for the first couple years of my business, I didn't really know how to pay my taxes properly. I didn't understand write-offs, I didn't know how to do anything, and in the end, I got screwed and I pretty much lost all of my money in my bank account. And that was a hard pill to swallow, especially when I had to pay and write that check to the IRS and look at my bank account and there was legitimately nothing. So these are hard lessons that you will sometimes have to learn in business, but without learning them or without people helping you along the way, you're never going to get to the place where you start to feel comfortable about business or start to grow and, feel that you are actually, a legitimate business owner. Sometimes you have to go through those painful places to learn and grow to become a better business owner. So now some of you might be asking, yes, I want to start an LLC, but how do I do it? 1, look it up on Google. It's fairly simple. But 2, and a less sarcastic answer, I started my LLC through a company called LegalZoom. Now, this might not be for everybody. I'm sure there are a bunch of other companies that do something very similar to LegalZoom, but for me, I felt that this was the safest route. I felt that this was a all-in-one package where I could just kind of communicate with one entity and figure out all the documentation I needed and have them take care of a lot of the things that I felt nervous about. But if you don't want to go through LegalZoom and have to pay some of their fees to do everything, I suggest just going through your state and doing it yourself. Now, that is a little bit more time consuming. You have a little bit more risk for mistakes, but you don't have to pay some of the fees of paying a business to help you create your LLC. For me, I wanted to do that because I felt a little bit safer and I wanted to mitigate the risk of mistakes. The last thing that I want to talk about is your business entity name. Now, this is very important, and I don't want you to think that you have limited names to choose from. You can choose whatever you want. I know people that use their name like John Doe Productions or John Doe Media Company. I felt that wasn't for me because one, my name is extremely long. Giancarlo Stigliano Media Company, Giancarlo Stigliano Production Company. It's just ridiculous at a certain point. It's just not. Like if you had like something, a sweet name, like short, spicy, maybe it could work. But for me, I chose something that was a little bit outside of just me as an individual. Again, I wanted that separation between me and my business. So I started my business, and most people don't know my business name unless you are a client of mine, but my business name is Expansive Media. And the reason I chose that is thinking long-term, Expansive Media for me felt that I could expand in multiple avenues, hence expansive. And for me, I love this name. For some people, they're like, this is stupid, but I don't really care. But don't feel hesitant to just choose your name in your LLC. Get creative with it. I know some people whose names are absolutely ridiculous, but they love it, and who cares? Feel free to get creative. Find something that is, truthful to you, something that you love, and something that if you're having a conversation with someone, you're not embarrassed to say the name of your business and you are comfortable saying it. So keep in mind, when you have your business entity, it does travel with you everywhere. Your email, your website, your documents, everything. Your business entity will travel with you everywhere. So keep that in mind. So just make sure you pick a name that you feel proud of and represents you. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you found some benefit in what I was talking about today. Again, if you feel that this is something that you are considering for your business as a freelancer or an individual, take a deeper dive into YouTube, look at the people that are actually extremely knowledgeable in this area and can really help you find the little details and the answers to some of your questions that I truly aren't capable of answering. And maybe I am, but I don't feel qualified to answer. So find the people that are really qualified in business to help you. Again, maybe you have people in your family or friends that own businesses. Talk to them about what you're thinking. Ask them questions. Find a CPA, ask them questions. The name of the game in business is seeking answers to your question. Finding people that you could build relationships with and grow with. That's the name of the game, and that's something that I highly recommend not waiting for when you are big time. You want to make the mistakes now when the risk is a lot less than in a couple years from now where the risk would be a lot more detrimental. So that's my advice to you guys. Hopefully got your brain going a little bit and maybe you're a little excited, about an LLC, getting a business. Creating an LLC, it's exciting. Creating a name, it's exciting. All of these different things are really, really exciting, but with that, it comes a lot of responsibility. So make sure you're prepared for it. But in the end, I just hope that each and every one of you are successful in your own way, in the way that you want. So that's it for today. If you found this content to be valuable, please hit the subscribe button, like button, comment, let me know what you think below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, check the link in the description below to my Discord server. We talk about this stuff all the time. People are asking questions all the time, and there are people in the Discord that have the answers, myself included. So feel free to join that Discord and, join the community. But until next time, I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Peace out.